as it is World Theatre Day, we start by having the welcoming remark by our dearest president, Miss Matty Jobe. Matty Jobe, welcome on stage.
Okay, before we can have Matty Jobe talking about the speech, I would want to say one or two things about Matty Jobe. Matty Jobe is a young girl, a girl who really have a dream for theater, who really have a need and really want to put up a theater house, let's put it that way, or a production house. This is the dream that she has, and she went in to said, okay, I want to initiate something that has to do with theater. And then she, with other young people, initiated the Gambia Youth Actors Association. In her speech, you will hear a lot about the Gambia Youth Actors Association. But in short, I just want to tell you, Matty Jobe is a source of inspiration for a lot of young people, honestly. She really deserves it. And before she's here, I just want all of you to join me in giving her a round of applause, please.
The Honorable Minister of Youth and Sport, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Deputy Mayor, Director Camp Africa, and all protocol respectfully observed. Parents, youth groups, the Gambia Youth Actors Association, the press, and everybody, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all to this wonderful occasion organized by the Gambia Youth Actors Association. As it was said earlier on, we are commemorating the World Theatre Day. But before I give my speech, I would like to talk a little about the Gambia Youth Actors Association. Actually, the association was formed in November 2008. The movement started with 7 members, and through publicity, we were able to register over 30 members before it was officially launched on the 21st of February 2009. Since its launching, the association has grown in size, determination, and popularity. We have now registered over 50 members, all of whom are young Gambians between the ages of 14 to 29. The association is registered under the National Center for Arts and Culture, NCAC, and the National Youth Council. When we first started the association, we were mainly into acting, but over the year, we introduced the whole package of theater, which includes music, acting, and dance. We are dedicated to promoting and preserving the cultures of the Gambia and to develop the skills and talents of young people in these areas. Our aims and objectives include revive and encourage acting, especially among the youths, establish a national platform for Gambians to express their acting talents, develop the theater skills and talents in Gambian youths while arousing greater interest among others, create more awareness on the importance of film as well as one of the most powerful tools of communication, assist Gambian youths wishing to take up acting as a career, renew a greater sense of pride and build more confidence in youths, promote the Gambian culture through acting. As we celebrate the World Theatre Day all over the world today, the association thought it wise to organize this activity commemorating the day, which was initiated by the International Institute in 1961. I will therefore seize this opportunity to not only talk about theater, but films. Now, film is a growing and vibrant means of expression. All over the world, people are watching and making films, and in some cases, local productions are competing head-to-head at the box office with foreign imports, largely from Hollywood. Films are not just sources of entertainment, they offer a means to find out about other cultures. Film tells human stories and can play a role in helping us investigate our identities. They are a means of self-expression. They can communicate important social and development messages, provoke discussion on key issues, and change minds. They can reach people who are marginalized, for example, those who cannot read, in ways that other forms of communication cannot. In many countries, film is growing as a significant of the cultural and creative industry. with considerable economic potential. In short, film is growing at all levels amongst government, civil society, the private sector, and filmmakers. Creative industry is taken to refer to the crossroads of the arts, culture, business, and technology. In other words, they comprises the circle of creation, production, and distribution of goods and services that use intellectual as their primary input. Cultural industry is taken to refer to those industries that combine the creation, production, and of contents which are intangible and cultural in nature. These contents are typically protected by copyrights, and they can take the form of goods or services. Now, what we want to do as an association is to encourage and develop the awareness and appreciation by government and other stakeholders in the Gambia of the potential offered by a vibrant film industry. We also want to maximize the potential offered by alternative and multiple means of distribution, such as film festivals and the internet. We also want to help develop audiences that appreciate a wider variety of film across the Gambia. A range of interventions should be offered to meet differing national and regional needs. Intervention should address the imbalance that the Gambia will face in the global film market. Sound cultural policy and its implementation should be promoted. Training provision should be increased. Lack of funding for the Gambia for developing the Gambia production remains an issue that needs to be addressed. Support for advocacy for political commitment and infrastructural strengthening. Networking with organizations and networks that address issues of shared concern. Now, some of you might be wondering why the Gambia Youth Actors Association wants to help develop the movie industry of the country. These are some of the reasons why we think that the Gambia itself as a country needs to have a movie industry just like Nigeria and others. The international movement of people and the increasing number of diaspora communities are having an impact on the demand for films and giving creators in the Gambia new audiences. People want to see films that connect with aspects of their identities, and this is offering a further incentive to globalize the marketing of films. The growth of diaspora communities is having an impact on the demand for films, giving creators in the Gambia new audiences and offering role models and champions and novel forms of connection. Diaspora communities offer new opportunities for collaborative work between developed countries and the Gambia. Now, some of the challenges that we face is, in film, one solution will not fit all. Different regions and nations have different strengths, and these should be shared between them and a range of connections supported so that skills and expertise can be exchanged in a way that is mutually beneficial, taking into account the variation of the state of film in different countries. The Gambia does not compete on a level playing field with developed countries. There are shortages of policy, funding, skills, and infrastructure. Films from the Gambia will likely face significant marketing and audience building challenges in global film markets dominated by a handful of big players. Interventions should therefore focus on helping to readdress this imbalance. Sound cultural policy undermines infrastructure and institution, yet cultural policy and its implementation is often weak. In the Gambia, the policy space needs to be won and expanded, and work towards this should be prioritized. Dialogue between the government and cultural sector needs to take place to encourage the adaptation of legislation in support of the sector. Government need to work with civil society to develop and implement policy which promotes diversity as well as capacity in creative industry and encourage fair intercultural exchange. At present, the Gambia have little access to structured film training, and there are no film schools. In addition, meaningful growth requires infrastructure and institutions through which the Gambia can directly control and influence development as required by this sector. There is need for training, including formal structures with recognized academic standards rooted in a practical local reality. Capital-intensive support is a missing element in the Gambia. There is need to lever resources to support film production. Even relatively small amount of money could help enable new creative independent production. Despite the growing popularity of film and filmmaking, the expansion of the industry is impeded by huge imbalances in finance, distribution, and exhibition, a situation perpetuated by the international penetration of the Nigerian and Ghanaian film industry and the deregulation of the international market. Of all films shown globally, 85% are still Hollywood production. Traditional funding, resources, and distribution channels are difficult to access for many, and in the Gambia, these are contracting. The recent global economic breakdown has not helped. Consequently, alternative means of exhibition are being soft, and the role of film festivals, many of which showcase developing country films, has expanded. Their value is recognized both for helping films not supported by the mainstream distribution network to find an audience and helping new production find co-producers and finance. It is perhaps in these alternative markets that filmmakers will find viable despite the dominance of a handful of monopolizing distribution and production network. With additional support, festivals could also expand their role in building a diverse culture and enriching audiences beyond the professional circle. I thank you all for your kind attention.